Streaming is on.
Okay, so what we want to do is want to organize the order of the trainings.
Mhm.
Organize
Okay.
PowerPoint trainings. And then we want to look at what needs to be done. So we need to create a sheet or doc. You can remember all of our previous trainings were in docs.
Yeah, they
Which
are most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I think we want to switch to a sheet. Maybe it's be better to organize it. Make sure there are instructions and that they stop between each training and check-in, right? Very important. We know how we've had lots of problems with people. They just watch. I mean, there was that one person who spent like 50 hours watching videos and they wanted to get paid for all of it. It was crazy. We lost so much money on that. They never did any work.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's pretty much it. And then obviously we would send it, verify list of trainings. And then after it's verified, we can send to the decision makers. Really, we just need to verify at the beginning of the trainings, right? So we could have, list of essential trainings, and then we could have other trainings for the future.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so the first one are definitely you already made the separation between the yellow and the orange ones, right? The yellow are the one that are more important. The orange are
Yeah, but now we're trying to get to
more
the ones that are the most important are highlighted.
Yeah,
So,
and then the yellow highlighted are the most important.
So the main question here is, do we want to start the trainings with like their payroll and their hours tracking, or do we want to start the trainings with like the HR board overview?
Oh no!
I would start how to do the training. Just makes
how
sense.
training works. Yes. Okay. So
Yes.
First of all.
So the first training would be understanding how to do training.
How to do training. Then we can do. Then we could do the. I mean, tracking hours for sure.
So
payroll.
Another thing we could do is we could split up the position training from the normal trainings, which is also something that we do. But
Yeah, I mean here they're split up. Do we want to keep them split up, or we want to just do a list with all the training? Because in that case, number 2 could be the overview on the HR board, which is under the position trainings. So,
I mean, either way, I think that if we put them all together, we want that to be up pretty high. But if we want to separate them and say that, okay, your position trainings, these are your priorities for the position trainings, are separate from your, regular responsibilities. So
yeah, but this is already a HR. This is already decision makers training spreadsheet, right? Or that we would. So
this would be for the HR board.
Yeah, for the HR board. Yeah, for specifically for the decision makers, right?
Well, on the HR board, but we'd be using the trainings from previous groups. The only difference is that we might want to simplify them and shorten them and or prioritize them slightly differently than a normal worker, Anyways, we can always change the order later. So, I mean, I would say tracking hours is super key. So I would say, tracking hours and then get into the overview, the HR board overview.
Okay.
If we want to just include it in here.
Yeah, I would just, for the moment, I would just keep them all together. Then we can see if it doesn't work, we can split them.
And then from there, maybe payroll.
payroll and the PIP.
And the PIP. Or you could do the PIP
And then the payroll.
earlier. And then the payroll, yeah. Either way, so it'd be fine.
Okay.
And then I think we have the budget process. So I think that basically covers like the first 6. So this would be like 6 months of work. Oh, and then there's the main buddy team. Dude, how do you skip that? So I feel like main buddy teams also might need to go first.
Essential.
Right? Main buddy team might actually be step 0 or step 2. Because everybody would be required to have a main buddy team in order to stay in the budget based on our policies.
Okay.
Cool. Anyway, so everything else would just go in other now.
Okay.
Which would include obviously our onboarding. You would think onboarding would be earlier, but I don't know. Maybe this is all just like part of onboarding. Their main doc should have already been done, and they should already know how their main doc works. So I don't know about that.
They have the main doc, yeah. We created a main doc for each one of them.
Yeah, but how to use their main doc and what they're supposed to do with it is kind of different.
Yeah.
So I don't know about all of that.
Part of budget process, the HR board didn't work.
Anyways, we'll just have to see how this all works. I mean, I don't know. Training is always difficult because it's like you want everyone to learn everything, but at the same time, you can only do one training at a time. So you have to kind of prioritize and just realize that, like, look, you can't just do everything all at once. You gotta step up, make a priority. Also, based on what's going on in the organization, you can prioritize certain things like the PIP and the profiles introduction. We could prioritize sooner just because we need that for the website.
The website, yeah.
Cool. So anyways, this all needs to go on a sheet or a doc and start linking all the responsibilities. With tracking hours, we have a video for that. So that one's pretty much ready. But we have a video, but we still
have
to
we have a very good video.
We still need to log the start time and stop time. So if you have like a 3-hour video, you can't just it's not the whole video. It's like you have to say, okay, this is the part that you're watching.
Yeah, it's the first 15-20 minutes of the video.
So the HR board overview definitely needs to be scheduled. I'm curious about, it may come up with Alice and Alice video when she first got involved. So it's possible we have some of that. We might need to schedule and do like a new overview of the HR board. And there was a little bit at the beginning of this video too, or like the questions we asked with Abubakar would be helpful too. But anyways, we eventually we're gonna want to have like a video, like one video, but sometimes you just have pieces of multiple videos when you don't have the one. So payroll, I think this also needs to be scheduled because it's going to be specifically payroll for workers. It's also possible we could do the payroll and the tracking of the hours in the same video.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Anyways, we might have to do that separately. So PIP and profiles, this also needs to be scheduled, but for now can be done async, right? So this is pretty simple. Follow the instructions. So we can just link the sheet for that, right? Link policy sheet, right? Part of the budget process. So this obviously is extremely important, and this is going to be scheduled, right? To go over specifically the HR board process. We might have a video. We might have a video, right? May have a video on the budget process.
I don't know. The
But anyway,
responsibility.
we definitely have a
I don't think we.
somewhere. But I
Yeah.
feel like the responsibility organizing for the budget process has nothing to do with the HR board, because it's like in the process, like send to HR board, but then the actual process the HR board goes through is not described. I think that needs to be scheduled. Main buddy teams. I mean, I think we have this, right? Have
we
this be linked. All right, simplified async model onboarding. I don't know about how to do onboarding. Induct, this already maybe part of
Link.
I'm not sure exactly how the onboarding works. Basic responsibilities, we have lots of this, so I just need to schedule to prioritize the list. Equity. I'm sure we have many videos on equity. We might just want to do a new one specifically. Overall decision making. Obviously, this would need to be scheduled. Policy decision making, we don't follow that. Staffing. Top updates, we should have that. Anyway, some of these might just be linked without videos to start with.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe. But either way, the most important thing is that in between each of these on the spreadsheet, we need to make sure there is a big gap. And do not move on to the next training until you have checked in and verified. All right.
Yeah.
I think that is everything. So are there any questions, Abubakar? You're still here? And some of these trainings might be separated between 2 months, like they would do like an hour and a half one, and then the next month they would if it's a 2-hour video, they wouldn't do it all in 1 month. They would do the rest of it the next month.
All right, I'll do the tasks, create the sheet, make sure the instructions, the verified list of trainings, and then once we review it quickly, then I'll send it to the decision makers.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I think we're done on this.
Yeah, I think so too. Yes. So Jay, what do you want to do with the? Do you have time? Maybe top of the hour, in 40 minutes, we can meet for the social media setup.
I don't know. Do you even have time? Yeah, it should be good. So yeah, let's just check in on Discord again in about a half an hour, and then see if we can jump on to do more on the multimedia.
All right, perfect. Yeah.
I feel like it's not just the multimedia. I mean, I think we do need to look at the SVG work session and look at the priorities and make sure we're doing whatever the top priorities are. But it would be good to get into the multimedia. Like that would be great. But I don't necessarily feel like that we should skip everything else if there are other higher priorities.
Okay. Yeah.
And how is the budget? Good. Yes, that's all good. Excellent.
For the budget, the voting is interesting. It's very interesting.
Why?
Because people are voting with. You can see that they're putting some thought. Like Shinedum voted in a way that I don't know. He probably doesn't even have to do policy tracking. It was interesting to see. I can link you the response sheet if you.
Well, the 6 is not policy tracking. I don't know.
6 is not policy tracking. I mean, he's abstaining, right?
Yeah.
Or is it positively staining? So
Yeah, but it doesn't pass with a 6. You got to get at least a 6.5 to a 7. So someone's got to vote yes on it.
no. The saying she needed one example. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, this is looking good, and
Very good.
we'll
Yeah.
check in about half hour.
Half hour. Perfect. Okay. Talk to you in a few. Thank you, Jay.
Okay.